Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a pleasure to be hosting the first evening of its kind where we look beyond the stars and salute the light that makes them shine. Tonight, we won't even try to return the goodness that has been bestowed upon us by our mothers. Some things are just not possible. But we can make a small attempt to honor the sculptors who have sculpted some of the most beautiful idols of this country. This event has been brought to you by Naturals, which we all know is India's #1 hair and beauty salon with 500 salons in 16 states in association with the Times of India Group, the largest media conglomerate. Brand Naturals is the story of a mother who dreamed of earning 60,000 rupees a month to support her family's income and the needs of her growing children. Her significant other jumped in and decided to help her live her dream. A decision was reached to open a salon, but 53 banks turned them down, and finally the 54th one agreed. Now, after 15 years, Natural celebrates 500 salons in 16 states, right from Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari. May I now please call Mr. Anand, Assistant Vice President, Response Head, Chennai, to hand over the bouquet. And also may I call on stage Mr. Kumaruvel.
For Times of India, it is a great honor to be part of this event. This event is taken a contour, taken a direction which signifies the spirit of all the Indians here. I wish to congratulate all the super achievers, and I also want to humbly thank all the mothers who are here with us today. Thank you. Good evening. I hope all of you have a fantastic evening today. Thank you.
Mr. Kumaruvel, may I request you to please share a few words of motivation?
Respected awardees, the illustrious mothers, the gems of India, my Guru Mahatriya, let me take this opportunity to warmly welcome you all for this wonderful evening of the first edition of Mothers of India. Primarily, I would like to welcome the mothers, the awardees. Your contribution in making your child legendary is unparalleled. And in doing that, you have made this world a special place to live. For that, a big thank you and a big pranam. Why Mothers of India event? It's very obvious. The inspiration for this event is my mother. My father died when I was around 13, and we had 6 children. My eldest brother, Dr. Rajkumar, was 22. All of us are studying. She played the role of the mother and the father for the next 35 years. And she ensured not only we are safe, we are also successful. She passed away 2 years ago. While the earth may have lost a great warrior, heaven couldn't have got a better angel. And this event and this evening is a dedication to that wonderful angel, my mother, Srimati Hema Krishna. The next thing is, a lot of times the role of the mother is often the most forgotten one, whether it is a special child or a normal child. The mother puts in that extra effort, mother works, tries hard, she has faith in the child, she perceives, and she is very passionate about bringing up the child. And that is more so if it is a super achiever. So we thought it's a good idea to create a platform, bring the super achievers on board, and give them the platform to express the thanks and the gratitude and celebrate their motherhood. It is not that they cannot do it at home, they can do very well. But if they do it in a public platform, the millions of people who are following the super achievers will get that inspiration. This year we have celebrated in Bombay. I want us to celebrate the next year also here. And the year after that, we want to move from town, city to city, so that we are able to connect with a lot of people and inspire a lot. That's what we want to do. So thank you so much for joining. Together, let us build a beautiful India. Be rich, be happy. Thank you so much.
Of course, no award in the world can repay the love, the sacrifice, and the devotion of a mother. But tonight, we can at least acknowledge and pay tribute to these unsung heroines who have gifted us some of the most splendid heroes and heroines in history. May we have Abhinav and Mrs. Bubbly Binja on stage, please? And now, Abhinav, if there is one thing that you'd want to tell your mother, apart from thank you and I love you, what would that be?
Well, I have to confess that I'm a complete mama's boy. She, undoubtedly, she's been one of my biggest strengths, and you know, when everything seemed absolutely hopeless, she saw a lot of hope. So I don't know from where, but she saw it, and that inspired me to keep persevering and keep working hard.
Arnab, who has been awarded the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan, prestigious international honors, the list of which is unending, calls her Amma, her best and worst critic. I'd like to invite Mrs. Arnab on stage along with Mrs. Uma Muthukumar Swami to join us. Well, I had a question. Your mother accompanied you to so many concerts. How was it to perform knowing your mother was around all the time?
Before I answer that question, I just want to say this is for us personally a historic occasion. My mother has never gone on stage in all the 50 odd years that I have done. So it's deeply moving for me to acknowledge her, publicly acknowledge her contribution. With regard to your question, no matter who says what about the dance, people may praise. I know that the most honest answer, she's my truest critic. And so if she says that she's happy, then I know that I have done my best. Otherwise, for me, the performance is not complete.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. As he grew up, the only emotional anchor for Mr. Chetan Bhagat has been his mother, and we've also seen that in the form of a film. His mother worked as a government employee for 40 years to support her family. He's seen her smile through all of life's turbulences, and despite being a writer, I believe he has no words to describe his love for her. Can we have Mr. Chetan Bhagat and Mrs. Bhagat on stage, please?
Which line from your book best describes your feelings for your mother?
I don't know about this one specific line, but I do know when I was growing up, she was the most embarrassed mother in PTA meetings. So, you know, every meeting, I was that child. Like the teacher would be like, oh, wait, now you've come? Who have you created? He's always talking, he's always doing things. So, you know, 10 years must have had PTA meetings, so all 10 meetings were like that. So I hope this compensates a little bit. Everybody, all of us whom you are recognizing as achievers or whatever, I think the first thing we do when we achieve something or win something is we tell our mother. So it's all for her anyway, so it's kind of nice that you've given it to her directly. So I think, thank you.
C. Padmasini, a trained musician, did not only teach her daughter Carnatic music from the age of 3. A daughter is a mother's reflection. Thus, the purity, soulfulness, and simplicity in Chinmay's voice that had made Mr. A. R. Rahman give her a very first break is nothing but a reflection of her mother's soul. May I call upon Ms. Chinmay Sripada and Mrs. T. Padmasini to come on stage.
This moment, this recognition wouldn't have been possible if Rahman sir hadn't found this pipsqueak of a girl when she was only 15. I dedicate everything to you and you're her back. This place standing here would not have been possible but for Mr. Rahmanji.
Born into a family of musicians, Bombay Jayashree Ramanath was initiated into Carnatic music by her parents, Srimati Sita Lakshmi Subramaniam and Sri N.N. Subramaniam, and formally trained under Guru T.R. Balamani. So Jayashree being the face of pure Carnatic music around the world, or her nomination for the Academy Award for the Life of Pi, is just a byproduct of her mother's unwavering trust, even when she was just a little one in her womb. May I request Bombay Jayashree and Mr. Subramaniam on stage, and may I request Mr. Sachin Tendulkar to please give away the award. If there was one song you dedicate to your mother, which one would that be?
Every song is for her, every note for her. Everything beautiful in my life is because of her and for her. I can't pick one song.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Would you like to hum a line or two?
जरा सी आहट होती है तो दिल सोचता है कहीं ये वो तो नहीं कहीं ये वो तो नहीं कहीं ये वो तो नहीं. This is her favorite song, and if I may be just permitted to add, thank you. My mother loves beauty. As I told you, my mother loves everybody here, the super achievers and their mothers. She has prayed for the past 25 years for this one person. 3 rounds of Hanuman Chalisa every day. Any guesses who that is for? Mr. Tendulkar. And she will be 86 in 15 days. That would be her birthday. And we can't ask for a better gift. Thank you, Tan. Thank you, naturally, for this.
When you single-handedly start an entrepreneurship at the age of 16, and when at 24, you have one of the most successful companies of the continent, there is definitely an invisible hand supporting you. After starting and selling over more than a dozen enterprises over the years, Mr. Gaurav Maurya, in 1999, set up Franchise India, the largest integrated franchise and retail solutions company in Asia. A child's challenge is never alone the challenge of his, and so is his success. Mr. Gaurav Maurya and Mrs. Maurya, we'd love to have you on stage. And may I call Mr. Abhinav Bindra to give away the award. Gaurav, a quick question. Which personality trait of your mother has made the biggest impression on you, or even shaped you?
You know, her contribution to me is tremendous. Almost everything I do is a shade of her, and I think it's true for every son that mother plays a very, very important role, and it's such a delight to be part of such a esteemed gathering, and we have 2 very accomplished people sitting in front of us, and I think not only my mother but every mother of India is actually proud of them. So thank you very much.
Karima Begum has always been spiritually inclined and believes that there's an unseen power constantly loving, protecting, and looking after us. So there's absolutely nothing to fear. That's what led her to move on courageously with 4 small children after the untimely demise of her husband. And this is the strength that she has passed on to her offspring. Even the name Allah Rakha is her gift to her son. It means protected by God. And only one protected by God and such a mother could do with music, create that kind of magic as A.R. Rahman has done. Mr. A.R. Rahman, could we have you on stage, please? And to give away the memento, it's my ultimate pleasure to invite on stage CKK and Mrs. Veena. Mr. Rahman, we know you're a man of very few words. Just taking my chances here.
I think I'm very lucky to have such a strong mother, not only as an inspiration. Nobody knows that she can predict what happens next week. If something's going to happen to me, she'll know. I need to do something for AR. I need to, those kind of extraordinary gifts she's got. And I think that's what keeps me going. Hopefully she lives for a long time and blesses us with giving to my kids.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Extremely moving moments here. And now, moving on to the next award. Naseema was the one who had pleaded with the coach to admit her 6-year-old daughter for training. The coach was least interested in the small little girl and made the mother wait for hours as he attended to others. The mother didn't mind the wait, as again, she intuitively knew what she was creating. Thus, continuously traveling across the country, carrying Sania's kit bags, staying away from home for many days and living with friends, families, while in other cities was a journey that she chooses to recall as exciting rather than exhausting. Though Sania was absolutely excited about tonight's event, she couldn't make it because there was something urgent that came up. But we're glad to have her mom and her mentor, Mrs. Naseema Mirza, with us. Ma'am, could we have you on stage, please? Shankar Mahadevan, the 3-time national award winner, owes all his achievements to his mother, whom he considered his torchbearer. Mr. Shankar Mahadevan and Mrs. Mahadevan, ladies and gentlemen, and to give away the award, I'd like to call on stage Mr. A.R. Rahman, please.
I'm so happy, and for her, these are people who stay backstage, stay behind us, and they only do one thing. They just pray, 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 bless, bless, bless. That's all they do. So coming here on stage, accepting this award and all is very strange and embarrassing for them. But I'm really happy this happened over here today.
If there was one song you dedicate to your mother, which one would that be?
जब भी कभी पापा मुझे जो जोर से झूला झूलाते हैं माँ, मेरी नजर ढूंढे तुझे, सोचूं यही तू आके थामेगी वहाँ। उनसे मैं ये कहता नहीं, पर मैं सहम जाता हूँ माँ, तुझे सब है पता मेरी माँ। This is for all the mothers over here.
Wow, some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful moments here to be cherished over a lifetime. Cricket needed the god of cricket, Sachin, to stay away from his family with his uncle in Dadar. But his working mom made sure to travel all the way back from work to pay him a daily visit. And even on Sachin's insistence, she never stopped doing the housework either. Thus, Sachin dedicating his Bharat Ratna to her is his way of telling his mom, thank you. May I request Mr. Sachin Tendulkar to come on stage, please. Mahasriya, it would be lovely if you could join us to bless the memento. I know you're a man of few words as well, but would you use this opportunity to say what you could never say to her in person?
To talk about mothers, it's not easy. It's the toughest thing to do. While playing for so many years, my mother never watched me live. And when I announced my retirement, that was my final wish. And the final wish was that my mother comes to the stadium to see why I had to leave home for 24 years. to spend time away from her. It was the biggest gift for me, most satisfying moment to see my mother up in the stands. And I scored 60 something, but I scored my 50 and I showed my back to my mother and thanked her for everything. I felt my career was completed by her presence. Because every time my father watched me, my brother, wife, kids watched me. But my mother was never over there. She was constantly praying for me, praying for my success and my health. So I want to take this opportunity to thank my mother for everything that she has done. And to all the mothers, something on behalf of all of us I'd like to say is, Ma tujhe salam.
Wonderful, wonderful words from some of the icons of this country. A child can be a mother's weakness, but a mother will always be her child's strength. The story of Rubraj Singh and his mother Shabnam is one of true determination and grit. May I request Mr. Shabnam Singh to please come and join us on stage. May I request Mr. Sachin Tendulkar to come on stage, please. And congratulations to her for gifting Yuvraj to the world twice. Nothing that begins with a mother can come to an end, be it her phone calls to check on us, or her bedtime stories, or her love that can surpass all the universes. Similarly, this evening may come to an end, but it's just the beginning of an intention that has been set, which is to ensure that the efforts of the heroes behind the heroes are always acknowledged and honored.